When Ethan bought the old blue house on the corner, he thought it would finally bring him peace. The street was calm, the trees were tall, and best of all, his house wasn't part of the neighborhood HOA. But that's exactly what triggered her. Karen, the self-proclaimed president of everything within sight, marched to his driveway the moment the moving truck arrived. "Excuse me," she barked, sunglasses gleaming. "You can't park that truck here. This is an HOA community." Ethan smiled politely. "Actually, my property isn't part of your HOA." The silence that followed could have cracked glass. Her face turned red, her jaw stiffened, and she muttered, "We'll see about that." That night, Ethan noticed a strange letter taped to his door. It was printed with official-looking fonts, warning that he was in violation of HOA parking policy. But the letter wasn't signed, only stamped with Karen. Ethan laughed at first. But by morning, the laughter was gone. His trash cans had been pushed over, his mailbox dented, and muddy footprints led from her lawn to his. He tried to ignore it. But Karen wasn't done. She wanted control, and she'd do anything to get it. The next week, Karen started what she called her community patrol. She'd circle Ethan's property every morning, clipboard in hand, taking pictures and whispering into her phone. One afternoon, Ethan caught her crouched by his fence. "Can I help you?" he asked calmly. She jumped up, startled. "Just recording your violations. You'll be hearing from the HOA board soon." "But I'm not in your HOA," Ethan reminded her. She smirked. "Everyone who lives here answers to me." The next day, Ethan got 3 letters in the mail, all fake fines for lawn height, mailbox color, and even unauthorized tree trimming. Each was stamped HOA Enforcement, Chairwoman Karen. Ethan showed them to the real county office, who confirmed none were valid. Still, Karen posted them online, claiming Ethan was a problem neighbor. Soon, other residents started whispering, unsure who to believe. Ethan realized Karen's goal wasn't to enforce rules, it was to break him into submission, but Ethan wasn't the type to be intimidated. He had a plan. Ethan installed hidden cameras around his property, small, motion-triggered ones. Not to spy, but to protect himself. 2 days later, the footage paid off. Karen had been sneaking into his yard at night, pouring fertilizer on his flowers and spray painting rule-breaker on his trash bins. Ethan took the evidence straight to the local sheriff. The officer sighed, "We've had other complaints about her, but this is new." They agreed to watch the situation. Ethan didn't want trouble, he just wanted peace. But Karen escalated again. That weekend, she showed up with 2 HOA board members, waving fake documents. "You're trespassing on community property," she shouted. "We can seize this house." Ethan laughed. "You can't seize something you don't own." But Karen's smirk didn't fade. "Watch me." Karen filed an official complaint with the city, claiming Ethan's property line extended into HOA territory. She demanded the city transfer jurisdiction. The clerk called Ethan in, confused. "Sir, she's trying to annex your house into the HOA. This has never happened before." Ethan provided all his legal documents, proving his property had been independent for decades. The city dismissed Karen's complaint immediately, but when she lost, she doubled down. Karen printed flyers accusing Ethan of harassing the HOA and spread them door to door. Kids pointed when Ethan walked by. Adults avoided eye contact. She wanted to isolate him. Instead, she woke something inside him, determination. Ethan invited local news to investigate abuse of HOA power. When reporters arrived, Karen tried to stop them at the street. But cameras rolled as she shouted, "You'll regret this, Ethan. I'll make you pay." Her image, screaming under the HOA sign, went viral overnight. The viral clip caught attention nationwide. Comments poured in, "That guy isn't even in the HOA. Someone stop her." Karen's reputation crumbled. But she still believed she could win through intimidation. One night, Ethan heard footsteps again. His cameras captured her cutting through his backyard with a flashlight, clutching papers. This time, Ethan called the police immediately. When the officers arrived, they found Karen standing on his deck, waving her fake seizure order. "Ma'am, this is not a legal document," one officer said sternly. Karen shouted, "You don't understand. This neighborhood needs rules. They calmly escorted her off the property. Ethan thought it was over, but the next morning, Karen's husband knocked on his door. She's embarrassed. Please, can we just end this quietly? Ethan sighed. If she stops harassing me, I'll drop the complaint. It sounded fair. But he knew Karen too well. For a few weeks, everything was quiet. Then one morning, Ethan woke up to a construction crew digging on the edge of his lawn. He ran outside. What are you doing? HOA ordered new drainage lines, one worker said. Ethan checked the permit, it was fake again. This time, he didn't call the sheriff. He called his lawyer. Together, they filed a restraining order and an official lawsuit for harassment and property damage. When Karen received the court summons, witnesses say she screamed loud enough for the whole block to hear. Days later, HOA board members publicly voted to remove her. For the first time, Karen had no power, but Ethan didn't gloat. He simply put up a new sign on his fence, private property, peace only. Months passed. The neighborhood quieted down. The HOA replaced Karen with a reasonable president, who personally apologized to Ethan. Karen sold her house and moved away, claiming she was unfairly treated. But everyone knew the truth, she'd gone too far. Ethan's story spread online again, this time as a cautionary tale about HOA abuse and personal boundaries. One evening, as he watered his plants, a new neighbor waved and said, "You're the guy who stood up to the HOA, right?" Ethan smiled. Yeah. I just wanted peace. And for the first time in months, he finally had it, and that was the final twist in this unbelievable HOA story. If you loved the drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment sharing your thoughts. It really helps this channel grow.